Who said you can't go home? Real Estate Exposed, brought to you by Signature Real Estate. Real Estate Exposed is all about helping homeowners and those who would like to be homeowners and those who would like to get into real estate.
Welcome to Real Estate Exposed, brought to you by Signature, where it's more than just real estate. I'm Brandon Roberts, along with Shelly Panzarella, Branch Manager of Prosperity Lending. Vandana Bhalla is out today, and so sitting in her place is the General Manager, none other than Mr. Christopher Bishop.
I am so honored to be here.
Yay! We're so honored to have you with us.
Should have gone to lunch.
Grab him.
You know, they say there's nothing good on TV, but here we are.
That's right. We're on Facebook, but TV, same.
Close.
Same.
Same. Different. So, stats, since we're kind of lost without the main host.
Yes.
The stats, we're going to have Shelly do them.
I don't have stats.
You have them in front of you right now. Tell me how many 30-year-olds are out there.
So I was reviewing a stat. So we're talking about low inventory, and one of those stats is that 33-year-olds, which apparently are considered millennials, are in the position to purchase today, right? And so the reason why we are having such low inventory is because we don't have enough homes for the amount. These are good stats. I know.
These are good, yeah.
So the 33-year-olds, we've got 66 million of them. And so today we have 1.28. Back in the housing crisis, we had 3.7 million homes of inventory. And the amount of people looking to buy was 47 million.
Really?
See the difference?
Yeah, so how many 30-year-olds do we have back in 2007?
We didn't have very many because apparently the baby boomers were booming, but after that, everybody just...
Took it easy?
Yeah, took it easy.
You'd feel really bad if you couldn't find a buyer with 46 million of them out there, right?
Right. I think there's a ton of buyers. We just...
Change your prospecting plan.
That's right. That's right.
We need to have a talk about your production. There's a lot of buyers out there.
But I remember even with the builders, because I was part of that builder world, like the top four, right? So what KB? Are we allowed to say that on the air? KB,
BK,
KB, RD. Being of one of them, one of the big fours, the biggest goal was to hit 10,000 units to build, and each of them were going to do that. So imagine 40,000 units. That's a lot of homes to sell.
A lot of homes.
Just for new construction, and then resell.
Someone said KB Homes, when the market crashed in 2007, had 612 months of inventory.
Wow.
And then they had to just get rid of all of these, parcels.
The land side of it too. Yeah, that's crazy.
You said 612?
612 months
of inventory.
Yeah.
And today we have nothing.
Nothing. If they would have just kept it, they would
we have like
kept it through
5 months.
Yeah.
Right? Is that the number?
That's like 13 days.
Wow. I still might sell.
No, you won't.
I'll wait till it gets to 10.
Exactly.
She's signing a listing agreement today. Too bad Vandana's not here.
So what are you waiting for?
I just honestly, I don't know that we have found the right home. We are looking. We are actively looking. I have gotten a lot of great feedback from all of you great realtors who've encouraged us that this is the time to buy. We haven't found the right home. If anybody has met my husband.
So if you're looking for the right home and you're not ready for it, will it come?
We're probably going to end up building.
Oh.
But even land is expensive, right?
Everything has a cost, but
I
what does
know.
it provide to you?
Oh, you're a good salesperson, Chris Bishop.
You heard it here, folks. Exposed.
That is the one thing, is what it's... And, Sydney is going to be 18. Like, I think if we built, it'd be perfect timing. She'll be 18. She's supposed to go to college.
You're going to kick her out?
Get away from the family. And so the big old home that we have today with, all the stuff in it and no garages would be beneficial.
So what's the top 2 or 3 things you want in a new house?
A 14-car garage is number 1.
Really?
Yeah. And then a nice workout room.
That's why she's
would
building.
be number 2. Yeah, we've had a really hard time finding them.
Do you have 13 cars?
No, but we have a lot of just stuff.
So if we could find you a house with 15-car garage and
Sold.
without the gym, but we could put a garage gym in, then it would work, right?
Oh, totally.
She needs a storage facility.
Seriously. I do. I've been telling my husband that all
So we're looking for storage units.
Yes.
I had a guy, no kidding, 2012 when houses were really cheap. He lived in a community. He bought a 1-story down the street from his house. I don't think it's legal to do this, but he did it, and that's not my business. But he bought the house and ripped out the interior wall so that it was just a big garage.
Please
And
don't say that on air. He does
he
watch
didn't-
us also.
I don't care.
That's a good idea, isn't it?
$90,000 he spent for the house, and he didn't want to move. He loves his community, so he just bought the house, and everything in the house looks the same. But if you open the door to the rooms are all gone, and it's just one solid garage.
Awesome. Well, I'm sure I'm going to be coming home to a totally demolition home. Like, I watched your show today, honey.
Exposed.
Chris had a great idea.
HGTV.
Exactly.
We ain't moving now.
Where's the pool? Oh, that's a great place.
Where's that? Where did I put that sledgehammer?
That's the underground parking.
That's where the mini's going.
Nice, very nice. So what else?
That's all the stats I have.
That's it. That's all you got.
That's all I got. What are we talking about today?
Chris,
Now that we don't have
you
our
had a
agenda?
great stat.
I did. So I heard through looking at the stats that it was the first time ever that the amount of properties that were listed, the amount of properties that were sold, and the amount of properties that closed were the same number, 3,700-ish.
The amount of property. Sorry, I'm slow. So, listed, sold,
Closed.
closed.
I'm sorry. Listed, pending for those that need it, and closed.
Wow.
And they're always different. You know, the market's hot, and it's
Yeah.
a lot of new listings, or they were all the same.
What does that mean for a market?
Scary.
That means there's no change.
No change.
Everything stays
same.
the same.
Everything we're
as-
listing sells right away, and everything that's selling is closing.
You know, I am seeing it's a little bit, the multiple offers have actually calmed down a little bit. I don't know if that's from buyers.
How many
or
would
my
you
price
rate?
range. And I'm actually seeing some of my buyers get accepted offers, which is also a really
I think it's hit or
reassuring
miss
thing.
though, because some people are
Price
still
range?
really, even in the price ranges. Maybe it's just areas of town, but some are getting them accepted pretty easily, and then
Yeah.
others are just there's no way.
must be that lender, pretty good lender that's behind the scenes on the
Yeah.
pre-approval letter.
Now, I was
Okay.
talking to an agent today, and they have a VA buyer, and that one's been really tough to get them in.
Yeah.
Really? Oh,
Mhm.
one of our agents actually, she just got one in a VA also in a like 300 sales price. I was
Yeah,
like,
right around there.
Well,
Yeah.
the issue has been because
I think it is hit or miss.
they want to pay above appraisal, but yet
Yeah.
with the mandatory, they're not bound by any of that.
So that's actually so they can actually pay over appraised value. We require them to acknowledge a letter that says that we're not holding them hold harmless letter. Do you guys know what that is? It's ultimately saying that hey, you guys agree.
Heard of it.
You heard of it?
My attorney mentioned it once.
Not that I've signed any.
So that is one thing that we do if we do have a situation where the appraisal comes in higher, the borrower wants to move forward. They obviously, whatever the negotiation
Yeah.
piece is, pay the difference, but they acknowledge that they are buying the home above appraised value.
Well, it's kind of interesting that you said that because I keep thinking about the fact I've had agents come in and say, it's difficult with my VA buyer because it's a great loan program, but it struggles because of this whole appraisal thing we've been arguing about in the marketplace. But you're right, the VA buyer didn't have a down payment, so if they had that money, they literally have the cash versus FHA
Yeah,
or some of the others
that's right.
to pay in cash. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, I think because we've had nowadays it's a mixed bag on like if there's issues with appraisals, it's not just VA.
Yeah.
So I think also for VA financing, they give us the heads up like, hey, we
That
have
is nice.
what we call the Tidewater, and then
Yeah.
they let us know that we're not coming into value. So it gives an opportunity for the agents to give us comps.
Not to put you on the spot, but why is it called Tidewater?
I don't
Is it like
know.
the waves are breaking against the shore and
It's like
there
to-
comes the Tidewaters?
Because the tides rise,
Yeah.
and so you want to raise the appraisal.
I'm gonna Google that first.
Sounded like a great
I
idea.
like it though. I
Right.
like it. Yeah, I'll look at it. I'll get back to you on that.
That's funny that
and
she's
then your
Googling
house is
that.
underwater.
I have agents that call me up and ask me questions on stuff, and they're like, "Oh, hey, do you know this?" And so while they're saying it, I'm sitting here googling it in. Hold on, let me just think about that for a minute. Bam! Oh yeah, I know what that
And
is.
they're, Chris is so smart.
He's so smart. He's Google smart. Did
That's my middle name.
you find it?
No.
Oh,
I know what the initiative is, but I don't know why they call it Tidewater. I'm
Must-
sure it's a military thing. For our military audience, please let us know what Tidewater means.
Do you know, Tom? No.
his Google's slow.
His Wi-Fi. I'm on 3G.
He was out way too late last night. I'm just gonna say.
Oh.
So you guys had a pretty nice PSF event last night, I heard.
Yeah. It was real nice over at Panavino.
Oh, you've been to that place before?
It's one of my favorite restaurants. But it
Who's
was
your favorite waiter over there?
I like Amanda over there. She's a waitress, but
Waitress. Well, they can be called waiters.
no, she does a great job. In fact, she was actually the bartender last night. So,
Nice.
Awesome.
and it
What did
paid-
you have?
What did I have? I had vodka sodas.
Shrimp. Fettuccine.
They did have shrimp there, cold shrimp. They had nice looking pizzas. They had pasta. There was some tiramisu desserts.
Yummy.
It was really a good spread. But yeah, I had vodka soda.
What's the PSF? Is that for?
Political Survival Fund.
Ah, cool. So that was a fundraising event.
Yeah, it was yeah. It
Cool.
was cool. Good stuff. So, and then Tom went to Jing.
Gene.
Jing.
Jing.
Not
Oh,
the city.
You've been there
Place.
before.
Yes. Man.
You've poured out of there before.
Which has been a long time that I've ever done that. I've done that in my
But it was for your birthday. That was good.
I know. Yeah, it really does age you though, or unless you realize how old you are when you come rolling out of those young ass places.
The problem wasn't that we had a few drinks. The problem was the shots on top of the, because you get your
Yeah,
usual
who
thing.
ordered those?
I have no idea, but they should be reprimanded.
Right, Tom?
Tidewater.
Was it?
Tidewatered.
I
That
thought it
was
was
good.
all the cupcakes and cakes, and it was a whole mixture of everything. It was a great time though.
They do that thing where I don't know why this is a big thing, but it is kind of fun when you're looking for something to do. But they'll cook meat on a stone at your table. So they bring out this hot stone, and
Till
then
the
it's really
stone gets cold.
really thin, expensive meat that you're probably going to get a tiny piece of, and then you lay it on your own stone and you cook it, and season it a little bit. You got to do that, guy.
So why wouldn't you just do that at home?
Well,
No,
I mean, I wouldn't, but I'm just curious.
do you have a hot stone?
I can't cut
I
the meat
don't have
that
a
thin
hot
at
stone.
home.
Tidewater process is an extra step that sometimes occurs.
Yeah, we know what it is. We
Yeah,
want to
but
know
why
what
do
the
they call it
Tidewater
Tidewater?
stands for.
Look at the big brain on bread. Tom Blanchard.
Wow.
He's halfway listening to our show. He's
I
a little
know.
disappointed Vandana's not here. You can see he's the only one commenting.
She'll be commenting on her way out.
Yeah.
She will be. She'll
She's
be like, "What?"
she's
the-
pissed right now.
You guys are talking.
So what do you
about
guys usually talk about on the show?
We had,
Beta wants to know that same question. Look at he got all excited.
you tell us.
I don't see a script in front of me, so
We never do.
I scripted the intro, if you couldn't tell.
that was very good.
yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Well, you've heard the other intros of the show, so it was
Some
pretty
of them.
easy to step it up.
Yeah.
I kid. So,
Jokes.
usually we're still talking when the show starts.
About what?
Whatever we were talking about before the show started.
Oh yeah.
But you guys
So-
have been doing this a long time. Like this show's been around for a while.
Ages.
It's like Cheers.
I just showed up. Don't.
Here.
Yeah, I just got invited this last year.
Just
Hey,
can't
but
get it
we-
off the air.
Well, we're about a year in again. It's almost been a year we've been doing it again, right?
Has it?
Yeah. Beta says yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he dreads every one of them. It's tough.
Ah,
He's like,
that's
man, I
funny.
have to sit through every one of these live. Then I have to edit them. Then I have to upload them.
You edit these?
No,
Why don't
but-
you put some funny like boing or like
Yeah, exposed.
Yay! Brandon.
Wow,
Brandon,
that was
Brandon.
for some good stats. Boing. Or when Von and his mic used to shoot up. In the Boing.
Thank goodness you guys fixed that. I just realized. Oh no, you just got an extra arm on the for your
No, I
mic.
think he's just bandaged it up a few more
Oh,
times.
You put glue on it.
Yeah, he's trying hard. So, but before the show, we were talking because my mom's in town about what to do in Vegas.
Yeah.
We talked about it last week, and we
We
talked
did.
about all the restaurants in town, right?
They're
Yep.
all packed. You said
They are packed. And that's why Vanna's not here. She's at one of her famous restaurants for lunch.
she's waiting for the dinner rush.
No, but there was some.
she's
She
waiting for
she had a
food.
whole bunch of good ones there, but yeah.
How much do you think it would cost to get that Google sheet from her? Do you think she'd probably like copyright it, trademark, and like?
She doesn't like to share that stuff.
I know.
There's a lot of work in that.
She gave it to her assistant.
Her assistant did it.
Yes,
What are you talking about?
but you're right. It was a lot of work because she had to visit the restaurants. But then
The interesting
the
thing
meals
is,
together.
though, you have an assistant, I have an assistant, and we can't get it put together.
we must need to get a.
We need
okay.
to go out to eat more.
Well, and yeah, so she has a Google spreadsheet of all of the restaurants, all of her favorite meals on those restaurants. What else is on there?
And it's almost like it was like
Waiters,
the restaurant she's
waitresses.
been in the last year while I was home at COVID.
Oh, really?
which is very
Incubating.
ironic.
And there
Yes.
was hundreds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What they serve, yeah, it was good stuff. But
Yeah, so I'd love to get a hold of that. Maybe I can do it as a like scavenger, or what would they call that if you're just going to take your
Scavenger hunt.
No, you take the list and you knock off bucket list or whatever. You take her list and you go to every single one of the restaurants and try them.
Yeah.
That would be fun, huh?
I'm already
No.
worried about my waistline. But no, just wait till she leaves her computer open and then just go in and snag it.
Don't tell her.
And then scramble it up so it's not exact.
Why does she have the list? Is it so that she can go
For
refer
her
back?
clients?
Oh, so she created it and gave it to her clients. That makes
Well,
sense.
Well,
as
she's
when
not
they
doing it.
ask. When they ask.
Oh, you have to ask.
Like they're coming to town, what do I eat? I don't think she gives them the whole list. She just says, what kind of food, and she searches it.
Yeah. She's pretty organized.
But
about it.
it's
that
cool.
was pretty cool.
But the reason I brought that up is because you were talking about the Smith Center.
Yes.
And we never talked about the Smith Center last week at all.
Yeah.
But why were you going to go to the Smith Center again?
No, I was my daughter last night. We were talking, and I feel really bad for her because she's been home for like a year, and she gets to go out for these excursions with us. We go to dinner and things
The
like
bar.
that. But
I feel
yeah,
bad
to the
too.
bar.
Just to go-
She's got to stop drinking. But the whole part for her is that she's not having that interaction of going to school, and so last
Yeah.
night she's like, Dad, I really enjoyed watching Hamilton online, and I'd like to maybe go to some shows. And I'm like, oh, that'd be really cool. So I went on the Smith Center website, and they don't have anything starting until June, and everything that's there, it's like it was Kansas, like the band Kansas, and I had to explain to you what the songs they had.
I've heard of that state.
Yeah. Dust in the Wind. Dust in
There's
the Wind.
one.
There's one.
And if you know any other great Kansas song,
Yeah.
just go ahead and put them in the comments so
We'll
Shelly
be
can
surprised.
sing them
Yes.
in the next segment.
Karaoke.
Anyway, so I
Karaoke.
thought I'd go on there and get tickets to something, but it
You
doesn't
didn't
look
think
like
Kansas would be a good show for your...
it probably would be amazing. It probably would be amazing.
Probably be good.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, my grandmother here in town every year would take all of the grandkids and her kids
To Kansas?
Wayward Son is absolutely right. Not to Kansas, to the Nutcracker. The show. Nothing kinky.
Boing.
But it was like it was a thing we exposed. It was a thing we always did. And growing up going to that, it was kind of enjoyable. So I told my daughter, I said, maybe this December we'll go to the Nutcracker too.
It'd
Nice.
be really special. You should fly her out to Chicago to watch a
Chicago.
Hamilton show
Oh.
live and in person.
Why not just go to San Francisco?
Is it in San Francisco?
Well, they have a theater, a whole section there, just like Chicago and New York, but you can see most things in.
Wait, it's not just in Chicago?
I don't think so. I think they
Oh.
move it around, right?
I
Yeah.
didn't know that. You know what you could also do that would be kind of cool, up your game, dad game?
Yeah.
You can rent these charter planes now. Have you seen that?
You want me to
Fly
we
them
went
yourself?
we went from seeing Kansas to now I'm renting a plane. I mean,
you want to get
and
her
you won't
out.
even
You
buy
were-
a house.
You're just talking about giving her an
You
experience.
can store it in one of her garages.
Actually, your wife told me to say
I have heard of people doing that. A group of friends were going to Napa, and they rented a private plane, and it was cheaper
Yeah.
for the group of 10 to rent the plane than it was to buy tickets on Southwest.
So when I saw Tony Robbins, or when I went to his coaching business mastery or whatever, the one thing that they make you dream, right? And they're like, what's the one thing you'd want to do? One of the things was to actually charter a plane. So they make you go through the project of looking to see what chartering a plane was. Well, to go to Disneyland, you can charter a plane for $169. You have to make sure that you have a seat. So if it was my family, the three of us, we may not be able to ride on the same plane.
You're on
You
different
only
planes.
have one seat. But I didn't realize that you could actually jump on a charter plane.
A FedEx plane.
It's like you get a
That
ride.
movie
on a
didn't go well for the guy on it. I guess he
Yeah.
survived and all, but it wasn't good.
You just have to put this label on your forehead, and you're on the
He'll be
plane.
there tomorrow. Hey, one of the things, though, I saw someone put it on Facebook. It was probably one of my favorite quotes ever. It said that everyone else is thinking about riding first class, and I'm thinking about owning the plane.
Oh,
I like
that's
that
deep.
a lot. I thought that was good.
That is deep.
Do you want
I
to know
like
my
it.
favorite quote ever?
Sure.
The bastards tried to bury me, but they didn't know I was a seed.
These are some major
Think about it.
nuggets. I feel like we got the wrong
Have
show
you been
going on
drinking?
here. I'm gonna write
Yes,
that one
I
down.
have.
Oh, we
Yes, I
recorded
have.
that. Will you put that as the? That should be our caption.
The bastard tried to bury me, but he didn't know I was a seed.
Yes. I
That's a
like
long
that.
title, but I like it.
Right?
Change the name of the show to that, please.
I can't wait to see the flyers.
It's no longer
Good
real
times.
estate exposed.
I really am impressed that Scott knew Wayward Son and Tom too, and that's it.
A bad seed. Carry on,
I'm not a
Wayward Son.
bad
You gonna
seed.
sing that one too?
You
know,
are.
That was
No,
the
I don't
theme
know.
song to Supernatural. The show Supernatural that ran for like 15 years and no one knew why.
You're looking at him like he'd understand.
Well, he did not.
He watched
no
it.
way.
Yeah, he always changed channel.
Exactly.
He was an avid fan. You can tell. He's got fan gear.
He always got mad because it took up one of the extra channels that he was paying for. Dang it, it's on again. What is the show you watch the most? Like over and over and over again? Like it could be a series or it could be even a movie.
Game of Thrones, when it came out, there was a thing in my household that everyone had to go away or sit down and shut up when Game of Thrones came on. I had to have everything set up, and the show would come on, and we watched the intro. It was that important, and the whole show. I mean, like adamant. That was the one thing I asked for.
Wow.
Game of
I don't
Thrones.
think I ever really
Game of Thrones, huh?
got into that.
So
It's a great show.
go ahead.
So series-wise, I would say Law and Order. I love the SVU.
I'm the intro.
SVU. All I know is dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun,
There you
dun.
go.
Yeah, as I was pregnant, that is all I would watch all night long. And so Sydney loves that show, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, movie-wise, if anybody put Pretty Woman on, I would sit there and laugh my ass off all day long just watching it.
Again,
I love
huh?
that show.
I didn't see it as that comical of a show.
I
I mean, I guess it
love
had
it.
funny parts, but it wasn't like, oh look,
I know. My husband hates
prostitution
it.
isn't funny, Shelly.
Wait, it's about prostitution.
Yes,
She was a
that's what she
prostitute.
did.
You shouldn't laugh. You should pay attention.
Huge mistake.
I watch it all the time. I had no idea.
Did I say Pretty Woman? I meant.
You know the other show that was really good, and these are all HBO, by the way. I'm not sponsored by them at all. Sopranos. Sopranos was
Sopranos
oh,
was
yes,
good.
that was a very
That's
good.
so. I always get into series is late.
Yeah.
like they're going on, everyone's talking about them, and I don't. And then about the time they're done, then I get into them, and then I watch them over and over and over.
Really?
Again. In fact,
But then you're not waiting for them to come out. You're
But
able
Game
to,
of Thrones, it was like they were in the 5th season before I started watching
Yeah.
it. So I was binge watching it all the way through, and I caught it right at the end of the last episode of season 5. Timed it just right.
yeah.
But
You-
And then they ended.
but Seinfeld was another one.
Oh,
Seinfeld,
yes,
yeah.
and
Everyone watched
Friends.
Seinfeld, I guess.
See, and I
Yeah.
never really got into Friends when it was
Really?
there too, or Seinfeld. But now I watch Seinfeld all the time, and the one that I watched the most.
Sex in the City.
Were you looking at my window?
He's Carrie.
I
Sorry.
laughed my ass off. No, actually, The Office.
Oh, okay.
I never really got into that
Really?
show.
I can
Just
turn
little
that on.
segments.
I can turn that on because I don't have to pay attention to it. I can take a nap. I can wake up and I know exactly what's going on. I've seen it so many times.
Who's the main guy? Steve
Carell.
Yeah,
Steve Carell,
he.
yeah.
I don't know why. He's just off for me.
I got to be honest. There's some shows on TV that I just don't understand how they're on TV, like The Simpsons. How the hell
Yeah.
has this guy been in 3rd grade for 35 years? I mean,
He's ready to buy a
makes
house
no
now.
Sense. It makes no sense.
exactly.
I just don't get it. But South Park, that was one that came out and
Still out, right?
and it's still out and
Yeah.
it's still going and they're still killing Kenny. I mean, it just keeps going on.
How many times can that guy die?
I know, right? But I guess and it has such a following.
Yeah. Oh.
You know?
Of
And
yeah,
that's one I
different
never
ages.
really got into.
Yeah. Same.
No.
Yeah. My husband loves that.
But
Both of
everyone
them.
knew about it. Everyone
Yeah.
knew something from it or a saying from it, but interesting.
Growing up, the one that used to drive me crazy is MASH.
I like MASH.
MASH?
Do you?
I went
hate it.
back and watched
Star
all
Trek.
these.
Is that?
I
the
watched
s-
every one of those
I don't
too.
remember.
Really?
Star Trek? Yeah. No. I don't.
Star
think
Trek,
yeah.
like the
original?
series. Yeah.
Or the
A Team.
movie.
Not
Did you
the
guys watch
movies.
the A Team? Is
I've
that
watched
MASH?
a few of them.
Okay.
No, that's not MASH. That's
like
different
same-
war.
Mr. T?
Mr. T.
Yeah.
Yes.
I pity the fool.
Exactly.
It was all good. It was good though. I've watched a lot of the reruns on Amazon now that they put them out or on
A-Team?
that and
You got
MASH.
a lot of time on your hands.
I watched through all of them. I mean,
he doesn't sleep.
some days.
You do? Yeah.
Cheers. I've watched every.
Oh,
I like
I've
Cheers
watched
a lot.
every Friends. My daughter now has watched Friends like 7 times over and over, like the
Really?
entire series. She just loves it. She has her room is decorated, and I didn't know
Isn't
they had
that
Friends stuff.
crazy that
Yeah.
they? Yeah. Wow. So they can actually like the same things that we did when we were their age. Well, I think we were a little bit older than that.
Beta says a little bit, maybe.
Maybe not really.
He was a
So,
Supernatural fan. We know. Don't worry about it. We already got that.
I don't normally Netflix and chill, but I did this weekend, and my Netflix and chill.
Rich is lucky.
Nobody says that.
Yes, they do. The young kids do.
Those
We had a
Gen-
whole
Gen
episode on
Zs.
it.
No.
Gen
Yeah.
Zs. It's not called. Well, anyways, I watched Netflix, and I don't know if you call it binge eating or watching or whatever. But have you guys heard of the show Baker and the Beauty.
No.
I've seen it advertised, but I haven't watched.
Is that
Haven't
one
had the
good?
pleasure.
These, it's one of those ones that you
Beta's
just-
seen
You
it, haven't
shouldn't
you?
watch with
Yes.
your kids.
I mean, if you like bakeries, it's cool.
Bakeries.
Has baked goods in it. It's about the baker and the
Let's
beauty.
go where you're going because it's kind of funny. When I was a kid and a show would come on and there was a scene that I shouldn't see, my parents would always look over and say, "Don't look," right? You can listen to whatever you want. Don't look,
That's-
right? And then now, as my daughter was growing up, I don't know if you were the same, but like when something, I turn off I'm like embarrassed. I turn it off. I got to turn it off completely. We can't even
Stand in front of it?
Yeah, nothing. And it's not like I didn't know what was going on. I'm not stupid. I wasn't as a kid. But the same way with you.
I'm that way myself.
stop
I
and
turn it
answer
off when I
questions?
see stuff like that myself. I'm like, whoa, I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Sydney's not even in the room. It's just me.
So
She's like, "Don't look, don't look."
have you ever seen Hot Tub Time Machine?
Yes.
No.
This weekend.
Pretty this weekend. It's a pretty dirty show, right?
Yeah.
Hot tub
for a
what?
10-year-old. I think Tyson was 10, and I took him to the. People were looking at
You
me
took
funny.
him to the movie to see it?
It looks funny.
That
on,
explains
like the commercials.
everything.
Man, I was pretty embarrassed then.
Do you remember
Because
when
you can't turn it off.
you can't. Remember when Uncut came out?
Popcorn.
And I thought Uncut for the show was like just more film, right? And so I had my whole family up at a cabin we were going up there for the weekend, and I rented the wine movie where the two guys go off to the adventure in Napa. He's getting married, and I can't remember the name of the movie.
The wine?
Sideways.
Oh, yeah, Sideways. That's a good show.
Well, at the end of the movie, I guess
Not
there's
for
this
kids.
guy running down the street, naked, and it's like the entire family, my grandmother, my kids, and he's just flopping out all the way down the street. And that was the end of the family weekend. We had to go home.
One of my aunts took us to the drive-in one time when we were kids to see Flash Gordon, but it wasn't Flash Gordon. It was Flash Gordon. We left early. I was still kind of bummed we didn't get a whole movie night, but
The drive-in. We used to love to go to the
Oh my
drive-in.
gosh.
Not the drive-in you went to, but we used to love to go to the drive-in.
could you imagine the neighbors? See that from their window? That's great.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
That was
That's
fun.
awesome.
Yeah, so let's get serious.
I know. Well, what's our show about again? Real estate. I'm stuck on, I found Tidewater, but I can't figure out how to give you the exact definition because
It's
my
probably
computer's
the
stuck.
guy, Barry Tidewater, that, created it and ran it through Congress. That's it.
No, it's a low plain. Oh, here we go. All right. Tidewater region is generally flat and low flooded river plains composed of tidal marsh and large expanses of swamp.
Yeah, it has a lot to do with appraisals.
So when it's low and swampy, that's why they call it, they want to get it out of Tidewater. There you go. You heard it here. So we do provide value on Real Estate Exposed.
she made that shit up.
I do not believe.
Yes. So the next time that question comes, I will have an answer. Delete.
It's in my head now.
Yes.
It's going nowhere.
So what's the show about again?
Real estate. Something about real estate.
We were going to talk about something else that was important.
We're gonna
Business
talk-
techs.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
going to talk about
Your business
Technology.
tech.
Yeah, what would be what websites or what apps or what technology you use that makes your business
Well,
easier?
what changed my business was the signature app. I mean, I just
Oh
can't
my
do
gosh.
business. Can't do business.
Give this
without
guy a raise.
it. But before that,
He's a brown noser.
yeah. Before that, what was the main app that I had to have? That's a good question. I don't know.
So an app that I've used a lot over the years is Slide Dial.
Slide
Oh,
out.
that's a good, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kinky.
Slide out into my DM.
I think
Or is it DM into my slide out? What is it, Beta?
I have a really good mortgage calculator. I've always had to have that on.
What is it? What
It's called
It's
the
called
mortgage
mortgage
calculator.
Okay, no, it's the reason I ask it.
It's by
Um,
Texas Instruments.
The Carl's mortgage calculator. I've had that for years. What do you use? Seriously, like
Seriously, it's called the mortgage calculator. You can get it in the App Store. And it's
Okay.
but it's really simple. It's only
I
like
actually
3
have that one.
fields, and it's free because I'm cheap like that. And it's probably been the best tool that I've had. And it gives you
better than your lender. Yeah, I would use So
It's more accurate than the lender.
sometimes, probably 90%. I use Carl's mortgage calculator. Does it give you like amortization
Yeah.
and stuff like that?
Yeah.
And you can go inwards.
The only
and
thing it
outwards
doesn't
on
do is give you the advance payment. Like you see some of them that will tell you what your payment difference will be if you pay an
Yeah.
extra $500. And so
Yeah.
I saw an app this last week that was cool for that.
So I use Carl's mortgage calculator, which has that same feature. And then you can print up the amortization. It shows you how much interest you have or how much you do if you pay extra on it.
Do you know what my favorite app is that I have?
Signature.
The U.S.
Real
debt
estate.
clock.
What?
Don't ask me why, but it's the most interesting thing I've ever downloaded.
It
And
just keeps going up.
It tells you every second the debt for the nation, the world, the state. I mean, it's weird.
Why
Yeah.
what is it today? Or
So
this second?
the national debt is $28 trillion. But you know how much that is per person?
No.
84,000 per person. But per taxpayer, I don't know what the difference is, but it's 225,000 per taxpayer. But I think it's kind of interesting to see that, you know?
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
It went up like 3 times
Yeah.
for the taxpayers as opposed to the
So
persons.
here's what's really crazy.
Since
Interest on debt in the nation, in the U.S., total debt that's out there. So that's your credit cards, your mortgages,
Yeah.
your car loans. $398 billion a year is generated off of debt and interest. Wow. That's a lot.
yeah, but that's still not enough.
Put
to
that in your
pay.
Bitcoin.
Now we know what you do all day.
I just look at the debt and cry.
So what was it last year? Does it show you what all this how much
It was
money's been printed?
It was like 24 trillion last year.
Really?
When I think the last time the debt was at zero was when I think it was Bush Sr. was president.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So you know what? We probably should add that to our stats each week so we can track that.
The-
Maybe there's a debt calculator app we can put on our screen that can just count the whole show. Just, you know.
Can you do a tickler
'cause-
on the bottom?
Because I think our
Is it called a tickler? It's a ticker.
I don't think it's called that.
It's a tickler on our show.
Wait. Here's one that's
Isn't that the
interesting.
tickler going across telling you just
No.
to check out our
That's
YouTube
the
channel?
Yes.
ticker symbol.
The ticker.
Not
Can
the
you
tickler
put a
symbol.
ticker?
So here's the other one.
Potato,
Fraud.
Chris.
How much do you think in fraud in the nation happens? Each
Fraud?
year? Yeah.
Like
so far this
mortgage
year.
fraud?
Just fraud, like fraud money.
Fraud in general. All frauds.
140 billion has been lost to fraud so far this year.
That's Bitcoin right there.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Here's the one that
I don't
scares
know.
the hell out of me. Classified programs that they can't tell you about. $100 billion has gone to classified things that you can't know what it's for.
UFOs.
That's the aliens.
Mm-hmm.
What is this app that you're?
It's called the U.S. Debt Clock. These are really simple apps. You can search them very easily. I'm not leading you astray.
Don't worry, we'll post the links below.
Wow.
Anyway, that's what's on Chris's phone today.
So, what's your favorite website? Clean. Keep it clean.
My favorite.
Without
Facebook.
pop-ups.
Facebook. I really enjoy Facebook. I don't post a lot of stuff, but
You just sit there and laugh at stuff.
I like to watch.
Voyeur.
I do. I like to watch Facebook and see what's going on, and I really do see the connection point with it.
There it is. We got the debt clock going up
U.S.
there.
debt clock. That
Our-
is a
our-
lot of numbers.
Our fans can't.
Right.
Yeah, they're going to see it right
wow,
now. There it is.
Betamax. Look at how cool you are.
It's depressing as hell.
This show just stepped up its game.
Seriously.
Do you know the other one on the right side says the average median income in the nation? Guess what it is? You can't see the clock.
Median
60,000.
income?
$35,000.
Wow.
Wow.
That's amazing.
I wish I made that much money. I'm not even average. So,
Me neither.
so website wise, what do you
Yes.
use? What websites do you use to help you in your business, or even in your life?
Website like
Yeah, like a website.
I got one.
Go ahead.
Las
Signature?
Vegas Realtor Phase 5.
.com.
I don't have a website.
So you're right though. Our MLS is a website, right?
Yeah,
So
it's a
yeah, that's
website.
probably number
It's
one
a-
that you guys use for real estate.
Yeah.
We use MBS Highway, but that's more mortgage related. That's a pretty good.
that's your business, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I watched my
Last
wife.
time I checked.
I watched my wife input a listing on her phone yesterday, on Las Vegas Realtor on the actual MLS, and I can't even figure out how to get the app to come up.
Is it your interface on what kind of phone you have?
I don't know.
On the
You
call-
don't care either.
On the call this morning, it was funny this afternoon when you were talking to the team. You says, "I haven't been able to fill out. I'm not allowed to fill out the paperwork since the accident."
Yeah.
Still laugh about
what
that.
accident?
Just
Someone said something about, what do you put in the listing stuff? And I said, because I was talking about team benefits, and one of my best team benefits besides my amazing lender is my wife.
Boing.
Boing. Yeah. And so,
perfect timing, Beta. Good job.
nice job.
Sorry.
Okay, I forgot what we were talking about.
Your wife.
Oh, my wife. Yeah.
Benefits.
Benefits. Really? On this show?
That's what you said. You used them both in the same sentence.
We
I
are
don't know.
Really
Let's
growing
move on
down
from
here.
that point.
For the team.
Dust in the wind. Kansas for the win.
Ding, 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 ding. Good.
Finish.
Oh, I just said, I'm not allowed to fill out paperwork anymore since the accident. It's a joke. It's supposed to be funny.
I
But
laughed, but
he laughed. He got
He's
it.
still
He gets my
laughing,
humor.
actually, is what he's saying.
but I ruined the punchline. So
Yeah.
Yeah, he killed it.
Yeah, I have a hard time with that, too.
Yeah.
Understanding the jokes and understanding the punchline. Replaying them. So what else? So your guys' team has grown, like, overnight. Your guys'?
I'm
Is that the
growing
right
overnight
word?
just like the debt clock. No, it's actually we're honored to have a lot of new agents that are on it that we're training, and so that's been pretty cool. We have a good team leader. It's hard to find good help these days, but we have a good team leader, and he does a good job of getting everybody motivated and keeping them productive.
What does he do to get people motivated?
To be honest, he shows up. I mean,
Well, it's, number one,
you
show
think
up.
That's really important. He's the first guy usually here to prospect, and so if your captain's prospecting, you'll prospect with him, and so that's what we see happening.
He did say something interesting today. Was it something like you got to tell the players what the...
He has a lot of sports references.
Oh, see, you don't
It's a little overwhelming.
You said you got to tell the players what the game is, or...
The coaches need to tell the players what the game is.
Yeah. Step up to it there. Yeah.
Profound. It hits me right here.
it's almost as good as the bastard tried to bury me.
Almost.
But they didn't know
Not
I was
as
a
good.
seed.
Not as good.
I don't know. That
Almost, they
just
said
that,
almost.
that frame of reference just always works for me. They didn't know I was a seed. Gonna sprout.
I'm
Grow.
coming back. So let's talk about coaching.
Yeah.
You know,
Let's
you got
do
a
it.
team, you got all that stuff going. We've got a coaching program here. I mean, have you always had a coach, Shelly?
I started coaching. I did my Tony Robbins was probably my. No, I lied. I probably like 5 years ago I started coaching. Maybe longer than that. Not all my career.
Not all your career,
No.
just when it got good.
When I when I can remember, I have gone in and out of coaching.
So
And
it's
I went
commitment
into-
levels you have a problem with.
I do. No, I think sometimes you kind of get up there and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I could coast. I don't need a coach
Yeah.
anymore. And then you're like, I need a coach. And then you get into another coaching program, and it's for different reasons that you join the coaching program. So I've had 3 platforms that I have jumped into and out of over the course of probably 10 years. I'm 100% a huge believer in coaching because I'm a coach, but also because I believe it's been valuable for me for my career.
What's the biggest thing you've learned or taken away from any one of your coaches?
Ooh. The most recent I would say is, dialing in. My morning routine for me has been something that I've gotten from Satema. And that started, 2 years ago, I think I went through it. And since then, that has been like the rock for me to like live. It's not just in my mortgage business or whatever. It's just in general. But that's been probably the biggest takeaway for me is my morning routine.
So which coach was the biggest waste of money? No, I'm just kidding.
No.
How about you, Chris? You've been coached all your life? Yes, you have, by your mother.
No.
Does that count?
Funny.
Some is
I've
free.
not always had a coach, but I've always had a mentor. And I
yeah.
think that's a big piece. But I've been in coaching for probably the last, probably 8 years in my real estate career. And I didn't want to do it. I got shoved into it, and I had to. And it was the biggest growth I've ever had was when I got into coaching. And then once I did it, I've always had someone kind of as a mentor and a coach. I think it's important to have both.
Agree.
Because a mentor is someone you go and you tell your problems to, and they help you through life and the whole thing. And a coach is someone who helps you formulate a game plan and motivates you through it, like Tyson was saying. And I think that you can't have growth, real big growth in our business without both. But there are people that just luck into a lot of things too, where they luck into great contacts or great business, and they're able to build great systems through it. But I don't think that I'd ever stop coaching even for myself, because there's always another level I'd want to grow to. But there are other people that have said this is all I ever want to do, and great.
As far as production and such.
Yeah, or
not needing to-
just in life or what they're looking for. But I never liked the idea of not being able to. I don't want to say. Don't say expand around the big guy, okay?
Sorry.
He's on his last notch on the
I'm on my
belt.
last expansion. My fitness coach quit.
Span of control. Span of
He's
control.
showing up on Wednesday. I'm bringing a special
He's at the
guest.
bar next to me, and it's no help. No.
Span of control.
No, and I think the best thing I ever learned from a coach, I like you controlling the mornings, but maintaining a schedule is the most important thing I ever learned, because if it's scheduled and I do it, I'm more productive than just not having any plan
Yeah.
or reason to the day. And so that kind of helped me control all of those pieces.
What about you,
Me?
Brando?
I got my first coach was Alex Senig.
He was your first?
He was my first coach.
Oh,
You always
how was
Say it
remember
that?
like that.
Exposed. Boing.
Yeah.
It's not the exposure we want.
No, but the interesting thing is I would have never hired a coach. I don't think, or I never really would have thought of hiring a coach. And we bought into a franchise brand, and I had a business partner at the time, Andy, and Andy hired Alex to coach us. Well, shortly after that, Andy moved to Florida, and I was too scared to cancel. So for like the next 6 years, I just paid Alex to talk to me every Thursday.
Oh.
But it really did wonders for my business. And one of the things that I learned the most out of coaching was the ability to step outside of your day-to-day
Yeah.
business and actually work on it, not in it.
Yep.
And there was times that I wanted to like fire people, and Alex would go through the thing, and then he would talk me off the ledge, and then I'd come back. And for instance, one time I was going to fire my office admin, and he's like, "Sounds like you've given her a title, but you haven't given her the job. Let her do it." And so I pull her aside after, and I says, "I've been thinking a lot. I've been thinking that some of the issues that we're having is that I've given you a title and I haven't allowed you to do the job." And she goes, "Oh my gosh, that's what I've been trying to tell you." I'm like, "I'm a genius."
You build him a ship, but you didn't tell him how to captain it.
Right? But then Alex has moved from coach to mentor.
Mentor.
Yeah, I've looked up for him, and he's become a really, really good friend.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably the biggest impact there was from that guy.
I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
He's
now he
not
calls
watching today.
now he calls Tyson his grandson. So
Grandson.
And
Aw.
calls me his son.
So is he coaching with Cynic? Alex?
Tyson?
Yeah.
No, he learns from the master myself.
And
that's
that's where the
good.
show went to shit.
No, so we do coach, right? One of the joys I get is, and thank you also, like when Tyson first came down in real estate, to take him and put him with your team and to give him some of those responsibilities helped a lot, especially because then he doesn't have to learn from his dad, and that
I didn't want him to be
Would
screwed
that be
up.
so bad?
No, it can be, because sometimes when other people tell you things, it's different.
Yeah.
Like I worked with my
That's
dad
true.
in the restaurant business, and we fought a lot over how to cut an onion, right? I was still getting the 1/4-inch cubes, but I wasn't doing it the proper way. So, but and then you kind of get
Yeah.
that friction. So he's gotten to do that. But one of the things I've really been able to enjoy is like once a week we have a 30-minute coaching call, and we can talk about what's going on there. And he seems to listen to me for 30 minutes.
That's it, huh?
It's kind of cool.
It's the formality of it all.
Right. So,
Do you guys talk any other time other than that?
yeah, we talk about other stuff, but it's
Yeah.
a time that we can actually talk about his business and that
Undivided.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he can take my advice or not,
Yeah.
Then he goes and talks to Chris, and Chris says, "No, that's bullshit. Don't do it that way."
Here's how I would do it. No,
Yeah.
I think the whole thing is the dynamic is kind of cool. The way we've set up a lot of things, the coaching program here, the way the management team interacts with it. I think that's I really like the feel and the flexibility, because you said, I had a coach and I was afraid to fire them, kind of thing. And a lot of people never even get to the point of getting
Yeah.
a coach because of the money.
100%.
And which is funny, because they'll buy anything. People will
Yeah.
buy anything, but the one thing they won't buy is an investment in themselves.
That's right.
And that's what coaching is. You're paying money to make you better.
That needs to be a billboard.
But wait,
Right.
they're going to post all this stuff on Facebook for me. I'm going to
Yeah,
pay
that'll
all
make
this
it happen.
money, but
Well,
they
I
won't
think
do it.
that's the misunderstanding. Everybody thinks that, I got a coach, everything's just going to, skyrocket from there. But you still have to do the work.
Well, you can get a psychiatrist, but it's not going to fix your problems overnight. But I think
Sometimes it does feel like that. Huh?
it does. And they're like, oh, I'm still crazy. That's not good.
Exactly.
I didn't get my money's worth.
Well, and the other thing that I got from a coach, my best coach that I've ever had was a guy named Tony D'Souza. He was with the Mike Ferry organization. Since he's passed away, he was an incredible coach. And just the way he would confront my bullshit was the most impactful thing in my real estate career, which he could just see right through anything. Because people lie about them their perception of things.
Yeah.
Right. I was
Yeah.
prospecting like crazy. He's like, well, I've seen your numbers. I don't know what your definition of crazy is, but he was adamantly honest. And I think that's what you want in a coach, is someone who's not going to sugarcoat it, but tell you the truth. And that's why Alex, I think, is a really effective coach, is because he's going to tell you exactly what the problem is, not sugarcoat it.
And I've seen him, like, he's coaching a few of our agents here.
Yeah.
And just the turn, even in some of their personalities and their confidence level, has just changed just by talking to him on a weekly basis.
So your setup is individual one-on-one coaching, and then you do the pods?
It's both. It can be both.
Oh, okay. So it's not one or the other, like somebody can come in and just be on the pods?
And I think there's a big benefit to both, because a lot of people initially are not ready for a coach. I mean, if I would have started out with a coach and just started my business that way, I don't know that I would have gotten a lot out of it initially, because I was not in a place where I could understand any of it. And when you're coaching in a group when you're newer, you're relying on the community that you've built around you to help you kind of get through the motions of things that you're doing, because you're working together. And then when you're on one-on-one, it's more of like, okay, I get a base understanding of the world and real estate and everything going on, and now I'm ready to make it my own.
Yeah, you got to actually have some business or some experiences to kind of work through.
Yeah.
So that's why we kind of based them that way. It was his idea.
But when you talk about the pods, so our individual coaching is a 30-minute call once a week that we work on their business.
Yeah.
And then we have a group coaching call where it's more sales oriented, different things like that, skills.
Yeah.
And then, but then we have pods, which is a whole separate thing. That's like group individual coaching, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So those inside of those pods are not doing a one-on-one with a
No,
coach?
because they don't really have the
They're not
production
ready.
that,
Okay.
and they're kind of at the same level, so they're
Yeah.
learning different things and that'd be more of not so much working on their business, working on how to get business.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's more like a prospecting pod, because initially when you're in that initial stage, a lot of companies fail, I believe, to teach agents the wrong thing. They're teaching them all these great classes and all these if you have no clients, what the hell are you going to use a contract for? Right?
Yeah. By the time you get a client, they change the contract.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, we're changing the rules every day.
Forms committee.
So, and like you said earlier, it's about building good habits.
Yeah.
And I think back to the cutting of the onion. My father would always tell me how to do something, and he said, you can do it this way or do it the wrong way, but my way is usually the best of both, right? And
I like that one.
because he's already done it the wrong way, and so he's
Yeah.
trying to. But you don't believe it as a kid;
Yep.
you just want to bang your head against the wall. And then he'd say, "I told you not to do that."
Yeah.
I hated
Told you
that
that was going to hurt your head.
I hated that. That would drive me crazy.
Yeah. That's
So you're coaching too.
I am. Yeah, I'm so we talk about in and out in these levels. And so I have been contemplating like getting into another like one-on-one, because I've been in more of a like group type coaching today. And so I've honestly just kind of thought about whether it's time, and for only because things have started to, just elevate. I'm at a different level in my career, and I just want to see what I can do. But for me, the one-on-one is important, because I need that therapy session sometimes too, right? You can't, I think when you're kind of you're this leader, that you don't have a lot of people that you can pull up like you do in your pods with, your coworkers and things like that. You know what I mean? Because you got to be the one on the top to pull everybody up. So yeah, I've been considering a one-on-one, going back into a one-on-one.
You absolutely should.
Creates a safe space.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it also, like, I think I know, right, I can mentor my people because I know how to get them to where I am today, but how do you pull yourself from where you are if you're here even further than this,
It's someone that, and that's, my wife actually just started coaching this last week,
Yeah.
and she's coaching with Brandon. He was the only one
awesome.
available when we called. No, for a reason.
Discounted?
Because I could never,
Yeah.
I could never coach with my wife. We're too close.
Because she coaches him all the time.
Yeah, she literally, because it's different. But she doesn't, she knows exactly how our business works in a way, but she doesn't think about the things that don't matter at the second.
Yeah.
And I think about what you just said is that you know exactly what you need to do to go to where you need to go. It's just the perspective of the conversation you need to have with yourself to get there.
Yeah.
And that's why it takes a coach to kind of say, well, why would you do that?
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Yeah.
what I like about it.
Because sometimes we don't know what we don't know.
That's right. 100%.
It's all within us.
Just so you know, though, husbands and wife, I think that's just the thing where
Yeah.
wives always coach their husbands. My husband was in here yesterday, and we're talking about the recap from yesterday. I'm like, yeah, Persia was talking about highs and lows, and he's like, oh my gosh.
He did. It was funny.
And we're like, what's the deal? He's like, every vacation. So what was the best part of vacation? And, what are your goals for this year?
What would you change next vacation?
I'm like, No, I'm not really like that. Apparently I am. Apparently most wives are to their husbands.
We all looked at you when it happened. We knew it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
This is interesting. My wife has been on me to get on a healthy eating plan. Not the crap that I eat usually, or stop drinking. I don't know. It's one of those things. I tuned it out.
Could be both.
But a friend
I
of mine
tuned it out when she started talking to him.
A friend of mine was talking about the fact that their life changed considerably when they hired a personal trainer that came to their house. I didn't know such a thing existed. So I've been thinking, I think that would be kind of cool to, have someone early in the morning that shows up and you go through your workout at your house. You don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to deal with any of the stuff that's going on out there. And
they'll help you meal prep.
Have you guys
and
ever
stuff
done
like
that?
Go ahead,
No.
Brandon.
Have somebody
Not yet.
show up at your house to work you out?
Yeah.
Work you out?
Well, and I mean in the health way, not in the way that you're all thinking. Sickos.
Oh, then no.
Ooh, I even got that one, Beta.
Different drive-in movie, huh?
Totally different. So I've never had anybody come to my home directly to work me out, but but I have had a personal trainer. I actually have one right now that, again, in and out of different series in my life, or seasons of my life. The one today, he has literally put me on like a sleep schedule.
Wow.
I know, it's crazy. And I never realized sleep is like a huge part of not just like obviously surviving, but it has a lot to do with your nutrition and how you can actually perform at peak performance, not just in that way, in life in general. But he's working with me on tracking my macros and things like that. But I did have a trainer who, put me to work, right? And watched me work out and told me what to do and stuff like that. And then also gave me like a meal plan.
That's
Wow.
big.
And it helped me. Yeah. It's the same thing like coaching though, right? Because you get somebody who tells
Yeah.
you're like, hey, I got this issue and I need help with whatever it is, losing weight or whatever it may be.
Well, you think about all those videos you see about people at the gym using the equipment wrong, and that's just a fun thing to watch online. But that's the same idea, having a coach for the right effective way to do something.
Yeah, so funny story on that. So I'm that girl that probably does the stuff wrong but I was taught that by my trainer because I'm like, what do you do with the bands and you're upside down and around on this thing? But he would be like, that targets this specific piece of your body, which whatever needed to be done on that specific piece of mine. So now there's actually for some people there are reasons for being backwards on a machine or upside down.
And it
Sure.
keeps you from falling down with
With
the
the
bar on your
band.
shoulder.
Okay, well that was by myself with that.
Nobody saw
You
it.
need a trainer.
Yeah, but that's pretty
No,
cool to
everyone
have
saw
somebody
it. It made the internet.
I was on gym fails. #.
Oh, so I got an interesting thing to tell you. This is kind of cool, and we got time. So
We got time.
my brother, my oldest brother, is a law professor, and so he teaches. He's a smart one in the family. He teaches law school, and he's an environmental attorney. And so every day for the last year, through the school semesters, I guess in college, he's been teaching his class online through Zoom. And so one of the hardest thing is to imagine being a professor every day. You go and you're looking at their screens, and some of the screens are off, and some of the
Yeah.
screens are on, and it's just really frustrating. So this last weekend, he was teaching one of his last class of the year, and the entire screen was black. Like you couldn't see one person's photo or anything. And so he's starting the class. He's getting really, really frustrated. And he's like, guys, we're having some technical difficulties, but will everyone please turn on your camera? And he says it like 2 or 3 times. Finally, one of the students stops him, and they go into this whole dissertation of how he's changed their lives. And so really kind of a cool thing to have happen. It gets picked up by one of the students. It's had 9 million views.
What?
To this video. It's made the news. It's made the national news and all the stuff. And just off of that one thing. And I'm like, I've never known anyone that was in a video that
Do you think we could get him on the show?
Yeah,
probably
what's
be
his
more
name?
interesting.
When we said Bishop was coming, we went that guy.
different.
No,
last
that's
name.
cool.
But
That
yeah.
really is cool because
Yeah.
your perception of what's going on there is not the way they're taking it.
But have you ever known anyone that was part of one of those videos that got 10 million views? I haven't. I mean, none of my videos have gotten 10 million views.
I never
Maybe her
really
workout
checked to
video
see
did. But
how
mine didn't.
that was a fail, though. Everybody likes, everybody likes seeing when people
Yeah.
almost kill themselves.
That's politics.
With a squat rack. It is politics. You're right. What's the name of your? What was your brother's name? Did you say it was
Verchek.
Verchek?
I think they did it under law professor's Zoom class or something like that.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
Very good. Well,
Yeah. Interesting.
anything else you want to cover on coaching?
Do it.
Do it. Do it.
Do it.
Be the seed.
No, I'm good.
Good deal. Anything else you want to add this week?
No.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, so we know that Vandana takes an extra 5 minutes of talk because that's what we got left, and we're out of content.
Well, we're not really out of content, but I think we're out of desire.
We're out of desire. This road is come to an end. So
Well, what are you guys doing this weekend? I'll just add on to that.
Like
Are
I
you
s-
guys sad because the weekend is off?
Well,
Er.
our viewers are
Er.
very upset. I mean, we received at least 3 letters. At
Three?
least
At
three letters.
least?
Yeah, we wrote 2 of them.
From your
We got
mom. Your mom.
all right.
my mom was the 3rd one. How'd you know?
We read them online.
Nothing
the
good
other
on
day.
TV on Fridays anymore.
Yeah, her letter
That's
said,
funny.
"When are you going to have the redhead back on your show?" We really like her.
Yeah.
So are we like? Is this like we're like really combo for the storm, and it's gonna?
It is. So we're going to do Vegas Insiders, and we've got a format and a lot of ideas.
Mhm.
It's just a matter of taking that first step. We might need a coach.
You know.
We're sure the hell going to need some help.
No, I'm the kind of person that once I kind of go through a process, right? You see it through, then you see what it is. Now I got all this vision of how do you haven't been able to tie it
You
together
do
yet.
need a coach to
I do
execute.
have one. She's written out the script. She's even designated the segments. We just have to do our
Really?
part.
Take action, man. What
We
are you
just have to
waiting
do our
on?
part.
You got a videographer.
I'm just the pretty face.
You
He's
need the
just the
wig.
talent,
You
yeah.
need the wig for the hot Las Vegas down.
Oh yeah.
I'm not
Hey,
wearing a wig.
Now over to Tom for the weather. Hey Tom, how's the weather?
Hot.
It's hot like my shirt.
Thanks, Tom. We'll get back to you next week.
That's a lot of footage for him.
Right?
Yeah.
10 seconds.
Yeah.
So no, really, what could we do to get you on the?
We just need to get started. So I talked with Beta. We're going to push to just start shooting some stuff next week.
Just do it, Beta.
Just do it.
It's all on
Beta's
Beta.
like, I got this amazing podcast that I get to take from 1:30 to 3:30.
He's looking for things to do on a
Yeah.
Friday.
he's. I have a photo shoot last week, and he's editing that footage. So yeah, he's
Wow.
bored. He's bored out of his mind.
Yes,
He's
he's looking
Another
for something
picture
to
of
do.
Brandon.
Check out that outfit.
Yeah.
So why are you? That would be a good 3-minute segue out to the end. What are you doing with your?
So I actually did hire a social media coach.
Yeah.
Candace, and going through it, it's for Instagram, right? And she's and Vonna has told me this for a few years too, that my headshot sucks. But she's like, you need some different photos, you need some different marketing stuff. And the whole idea behind a coach is to trust in the process
Yeah.
and do
Sure.
it. So she says, we'll set up a photo shoot to do some marketing photos. And I've never had a photo shoot. So I'm like, okay, that sounds good. All right. So she sends me the link to book it. Did you book it yet? Nope. Did you book it yet? Yep, I booked it. 2 months out. Because I'm like, maybe we'll forget about it. Well, 2 months comes up, right? And I'm going, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of this? And then I show up at the office with all my change of clothes and stuff. And Todd's like, what's going on? I said, well, I hired this coach and
Todd thought he was
Good.
getting fired.
got this photo shoot.
Different outfits.
Yeah, I got this
Come
photo
into our
shoot,
office.
and I says I really don't want to do it. And he goes, "Well, you hired the coach. You probably should listen to her, right?" And I'm like, "Good point." So just went to make the best of it, and went through it. And it was a really fun day. We laughed a lot. We just made fun of me.
Did you see your coach's video about you?
Your coach's video.
No.
Your coach created a video, because I saw it off of the link, about the experience of what she was putting you through, and it's got videos of you going through the thing. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't
It's
seen
funny,
that.
haha, not funny like making fun of you. It's cool. to
No, we
see.
laughed. We
Yeah.
laughed, and the photographer she doesn't like to photograph men as much because
Men?
men, because I guess we're just not that fun to photograph. no personality or stuff. She goes, you really changed my outlook on
Aw.
guys.
On guys.
And I was like, I hope for the better.
Do you believe that shit? You're definitely exposed.
I said, that's what she said. So no, but it was a lot of fun.
That's
So,
cool.
in I think 14 or so days, we'll see the finished photos.
Oh, so you're waiting on the photos, and then
Yeah.
you're going to launch this new.
No, that's for Instagram posting and
Totally,
stuff. But
okay.
it's around trying to create the illusion that I teach, train, and coach.
Yeah.
Nice. I like
So.
that we do that.
Yes.
It's
But
not-
it's like we need more marketing content showing you doing that stuff, right?
Ah.
And then it was pretty embarrassing because she pulled all the agents in. Just stand here and pretend like he's talking.
And you're interested.
Use your
That's
hands.
what we
use
did
your hands.
yesterday, brain.
It's like me.
So yeah.
I'm
that's
sorry.
awesome. So
But-
coaches for many reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Style coaches.
Yeah.
Social media coaches.
Yep. Life changing.
Life-changing coaches.
All right.
That's a wrap.
Bring us home.
That's all I got. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you like this episode, make sure you share it. Check us out on YouTube.
Thanks, Mom.
That's a wrap.